and happy hump day. Welcome in to the Real Monica Adams show. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. And let's tell you all of the platforms we're on so that you can make a phone call, shoot a text, shoot an email, and let your friends and family know, hey, Monica's now on in case you didn't get a chance to watch, because some people said they're done with Facebook and Instagram and X, and they don't want to be on social media. So then they seek out the show on YouTube. But what about all of you that are networking and you're on LinkedIn? Well, we added that the other day. So we're on 2 Facebook pages, YouTube, as well as Instagram, X, Rumble, and we added again LinkedIn. So if there's a platform you would like for us to be on that we're not on, let us know. Tell your family, tell the kids what platforms are they on. We actually have been on Twitch in the past. I know a lot of the gamers go on that. We really kind of are selective in going on Twitch. It depends on what the topic is. So let them know. I want to make sure that when we spread kindness, that we're reaching young and old alike. And if you look in the description of today's show, it's kind of a follow-up to the really wonderful, and I do mean wonderful, workshop that we did just a handful of days ago. And it has to do with the part that I think is paramount, and that is self-love. And a lot of times it has to do with the self-realization of what are we doing day in and day out? Are you just racing and racing and racing and taking care of everybody else? And again, I love to be transparent. I love to be raw with you and say, yeah, that's me. That's who I've always been. And then I go back and forth taking care of me first and then everybody else around me. But unfortunately, what happens, it starts to creep back, don't we? We creep back into bad habits, or habits, I should say, that don't necessarily serve us best. And then we start taking care of everyone else. Are you guilty of that? Come on. I know you're not here in front of me right now. That's the beauty of the things that we have planned in 2025. More of us together, the energy in the room, the interaction, the tears and the hugs, the laughter, the camaraderie, the new friendships that are formed. I want more of that than this, where I don't get a chance to be there in the energy of the room with you. This is beautiful. That's a whole nother step, right? So if you missed the workshop, no big deal. Don't shame yourself. We have retreats coming. We have hopefully travel retreats coming, and then more in-person workshops. And before we get into really digging into the topic today, and we're going to give you a little weather. I did speak with Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist, last night, and he said really some of the meteorologists that we're talking about snow and the flurrying, etc., kind of, it's not as big of a deal. But actually, I will say this. They didn't really say that it was going to be blankets of snow. If you're out there and you're seeing some flurries here and there, that's what it was called for. At 5 a.m. through about 1 p.m. is what the time was talking about the other day. But we're not expecting anything to disrupt your morning commute. That's the main thing. So if you're in our immediate area, I'll give you that in just a second. Also, have some exciting news. Speaking of getting in touch and being Okay. Can you all hear me again? I apologize. I just flipped over to a different network. We're having some network issues, and we have been, unfortunately, for a while now. Anybody having trouble with Spectrum? So, did I drop out on you for a little bit? Let me know. I was going to ask for Hannah to text me to let me know if you lost me. I think you did. Tell me that you have me back. I can take a quick break, and then we can kind of restack. We can restack and start over. I'm looking on Facebook. Morning, good morning, good morning. Do you all hear me and see me okay now? I have flipped over to using this, which sometimes we say is not the best things for us. This can sometimes not be self-care, but using my cell phone. Yes, you did. I just lost you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sindra. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and use the internet off of my phone. So we're having some major issues with Spectrum. We had Spectrum come out. Jim's wondering if it's a box that he said looks like it was run over that's just out of our subdivision. But I looked this morning and I kept seeing our modem turn red. And I was a little fearful that we were going to have some trouble. So here's another thing about giving yourself grace, right? You do what you can do. And, if we have to wrap up today's show early, then we may have to. But one of the things I want to let you know is we're here for you. I'll do everything I possibly can to keep us going, but can't work against technology sometimes. So Hannah, do me a favor. And if at all the quality, because I can't see that, if it becomes grainy, if I start to stutter, we'll wrap up the show a little bit earlier. But here we go, right? Just shifted quickly. Thank you to my trusty dandy phone. We're going to use that network. I'm going to take a quick break. Sorry that we lost you for a second. I want to talk about self-realization, self-care. What does it look like? So here we are, December 11th, and we're leading into the Christmas holidays. Again, less than 2 weeks away now from the last day of Christmas shopping. And I know so many people right now, I heard a study about our younger generation and how even though they seem to say that we came out of the feelings of the pandemic, that they're suffering more than ever. And we're talking grade school, high school, we are talking into college, young adults, then getting into adulthood, the middle of your life, right? And then seniors, that across the board, our world is still in that depression mindset and still feeling that anxiety and the fear of the different aspects of the world. You can't live that way day in and day out. That's not truly living. And that's what I want to teach you today. So we're going to talk about self-care. We're going to talk about what that looks like to you. So as I take a break, do me a favor. Let's just act like we're in touch with each other in a retreat and that I have you in a breakout session. And right now you would get together with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people at a table with you, and you'd all start to discuss what is self-care? What does it mean? And guess what? We'll also add to it, how important is it to do self-care on a daily basis? That's what's important. It's not here or there. But I'm also going to go a little bit more in depth in that and say that if you don't do it on a daily basis, don't beat yourself up. That is what I really want to stress when we come back.
One of our things we always say is we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies, but giving back to the community, supporting the community, collaborating with other businesses.
Base case. Now we give parameters here. Power walkers generally use incline. Yeah, I know.
Go, girls, go.
Because you're not only getting some great local roasted coffee, you're getting good people.
Good people is what it's about. And by the way, that person who turned up their nose, karma is that you know what.
Everyone needs to be kind. And it starts really with the adults. And then it goes down because we're the ones that are instilling this in our children, in our families, and everything thereafter.
We are live on location. And this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move. And let's bring a Mobile Monica to you. We're going to talk about where we're going to be in just a couple of minutes. Right now, we are feeling the calmness that I'm trying to get you to. That's self-care, meditation, prayer. This music alone can bring us to that, and maybe just laying down and taking care of yourself. Where is this? It's in Creve Coeur. It's Elemental Aesthetics, one of our sponsors. We want to thank Jennifer Warman-Bloss for being a part of the Real Monica Adams show. You know, we've been talking about the wonderful things that you can do for yourself, but maybe you do with your friends and your family. That salt room, again, is probably one of my favorite things that's at Elemental Aesthetics, as it takes care of you, your breathing, your mindset, red light therapy, as well as IV hydration therapy. They do weight loss consultation. We're going to have Jennifer in next Wednesday, and she's going to talk about some of the newer services that they have at Elemental. She was talking the other day in her social media about this dermapen that they have. So I want to see what's the latest and greatest that she has now. Yep, 425 North New Ballas Road. That's where they are. And you walk right in and you just feel like you're ready to be at peace. 206 is the suite that they're in. Give them a call today, 314 279 6006. I'm going to go online. Gift cards. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Elemental Aesthetics. Thank you, Hannah. She just dropped all the information in for you. ElementalAesthetics.com. All right, 7:15. Welcome back. Sorry for, we went frozen for a while. Again, having some issues with the internet in the area. They came and did a test. They're like, nope, you're fine. Of course, woke up this morning, kept looking at that box and swore that's something or someone trying to disrupt me connecting with you. Can't happen. So I'm using my phone, and I just, if something happens with it, we'll just wrap up a little early and get you on your way to your day. So I'm going to go back just a few days. We had the Feel the Authenticity workshop at Enology. By the way, thank you, Sarah Glasser. It was truly a beautiful day. And if you were there, let us know in the days since, what have you been using to practice what we talked about? Because one of the things that I want to always stress to everybody is the importance of giving yourself grace. Okay, as I sit back and relax a little bit, let's discuss what self-care looks like. So please, any of you that are on right now, and as I mentioned, we're on multiple platforms, so I'll keep an eye. We've got about 14 of you live on Facebook right now. We're over on Instagram, seeing a bunch of new names on there. Kasha, hi from Canada. I don't know if she's still on, but Kasha and I hold workshops, by the way. And those were more on the lines of designing and cultivating a vision. We're going to do more of those in 2025. She's actually going to come back on the show and join us, and we'll talk about some wonderful things that she's doing in Canada and things that we can do together for you. But it's finding your way to that. So I loved a post that I saw this morning from a dear friend of mine. She and her husband own Force Performance, where I used to personal train. And she gave the rundown of what she feels she fails as a strength coach. And she was so transparent. And one of them was drinking enough water, right? I don't have any water around me right now because I was so frustrated with what was going on with my internet that I came up here with no water. So what would happen is, if I didn't make it an important thing after I wrap up the show and I went the entire day with barely drinking any, I would probably beat myself up about it. She did that. Not always eating perfect. Okay, so here's the word that I put in the description today. How many of you strive for perfection? And then I'm going to say, how's that working for you? It'll never happen. Once you understand that, and that had to be a realization for me, you will never in your lifetime ever reach true perfection. And why is that, folks? Again, if we were in a retreat, we'd be able to have you answer that. Why is it? Can you do me a favor and type in to the comments? Why will you never reach perfection, by the way? And once you have, for all of you that ever tried to, once you gave yourself the realization that you wouldn't reach perfection, how much better off was your life? Tell me that. So we've got a handful of things I'd like for you to answer. And I know a lot of you are rushing around and in maybe getting ready to head off to work or get the kids, or maybe you just came back from dropping the kids off. But for those of you that can, and please don't do it while you're driving, for those of you that can, answer that for me. Answer again, what does self-care look like for you, for others? Are you doing it? Or again, like I said, if you hadn't and you started taking those steps, how did your life change? Because that is what a leader is going to be able to do for the world. While others watch you, then they take those on for themselves and their life becomes better. So the perfection mindset that I've had so much in my life, and if you're all honest, you've all been there. Maybe you still are, and maybe you're still beating yourself up on a daily basis, but I ask that question on a regular basis. How's it serve you? Are you still, right now, to this second, this morning, as you're running off to work or taking the kids to school or whatever you're doing, Are you mad at yourself because you didn't reach perfection in making breakfast for the kids? Something went wrong in that. Or you don't feel like you are the best mom, and they're talking about other moms and dads. Well, why can't you be like them? You're not as cool as them. And then you are beating yourself up saying, I'm not the perfect parent or grandparent or boss or employee, whatever your title is that you're using for yourself. Perfection is never going to happen. We are imperfect. And the sooner you can have that realization, the better the steps are that you start to take for your life. That's the aha moment. Okay, it's either because of our connection today or you're all very, very quiet today, which is shocking because I usually have a lot of you talk. So I'm hoping I'm hoping you're all still on this morning. We've got, it says 30 of you on. Let me look over at Instagram with any comments. Okay, thank you. So Barbara on Instagram says, perfection is a myth. Self-care is accepting what you can truly do. Chasing perfection is a huge stressor. Yes, Barbara, thank you, by the way, for talking. Thank you for writing, I should say. Barbara, if you're still on, tell me this. How often in your life do you slip back into the mindset of trying to be perfect? Or you could help everybody else. Tell me, when did you have the realization that you couldn't be perfect? And tell me how your life changed, because that's what people need to understand and realize. Tell me how your life changed once you understood, I'll never be perfect. Whew, great. Take that weight off my shoulders. Now my life can really start living. That's what I see for everyone. I'm going to bounce over to X here for a second. X and Rumble users normally are very quiet. They just watch. I love that they're watching though, and that we continue to build these platforms. Yes. So right now they're watching and not speaking, but come on, Rumble, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of you, let's talk as a community and let's help each other. All right, here we go. Rose, my self-care right now, excuse the language, sucks. It's okay, Rose. Be real. People say these things. Say whatever you want. There's nothing. It's no holds barred. Let's go. Gwen, much calmer and a better attitude overall. It took me a long time to realize the pressure of perfection. Okay, but once you do, it's this beautiful aha moment. Did you get chills once you realized it, Gwen? It can drive you nuts. It's a joy zapper. Yes. And you all of a sudden start to realize that you have become what you don't want to become. You feel toxic. You feel tired. You feel negative. You don't feel like the best whatever, fill in the blank, the best parent, the best friend, the best wife, whatever that may be. But once you realize that, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh my gosh, nobody ever expected me to be perfect. And that's what I love the most. Julie says I'm here. But Julie, weigh in for me if you can. What are these things? How do these resonate with you? Rose, all I need is drinking my water, cutting sugar intake, walking and staying in the word, but it's not happening. Janet says it sucks. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that post that I saw from my dear friend Brittany. So she said she's like, as a strength coach, these are the things I fail at. And that to me, if I had her in front of me right now, I'd give her a big hug and say, you're not failing as a strength coach, but she probably feels that. So if she feels like she's not drinking enough water, it's because she tells everybody else the importance of it. And then suddenly she feels, well, shoot, I'm not getting it in. But the great thing is you hear through the message that she has the realization. So when I talk about self-realization, that's the powerful part, is that you get it. And then you start to do better at it. Never perfect at it. Again, you're better at it. So she said she wasn't drinking enough water, not always being perfect with clean eating. Well, right. I like the 80-20 rule. Anybody else that's in the health and fitness field or has worked with a trainer or worked with a life coach, what have they told you? If they've ever told you you have to eat clean, which my dear friend who I became a personal trainer with, he was incredible. Was he perfect? No. Would I say he was the best at it? Yes, that means he was a leader. But there were times where he would be like, okay, fine, let's go get pizza. But it was, for him, it was rare. I mean, he probably lived his life 95% clean. That 5%, he's watching me right now in heaven. I would say 80-20. That's what I do. So last night we went to, and by the way, thank you, Diane Isbell, and thank you to Audra Harold for inviting us to the St. Louis, the STLFA, so the St. Louis Fashion Alliance holiday party. We went to that last night at the new and elegant AC Hotel, which is in Clayton. And I had a chance to run in to one of the models that I did a big photo shoot with. James Warwick, love you. So good to see you. But Diane and to Audra, thank you. I had a chance to meet Audra's beautiful mother here. Let me see. There we go. That's Audra's mother. Isn't she stunning? So her and Diane and my mom, we were all together. And here's the beautiful Audra Harold. If you don't know about her, watch the show that we did the other day. Audra and Diane and myself talking about the wonderful things that the St. Louis Fashion Alliance does. They have a big shoe drive right now. Guess who else showed up? Santa. Oh, we had a video. Hold on. Santa Claus was there, and I had a chance to tell him that I've been a good girl. I haven't been perfect, Santa, but I've been a good girl. Mom, I had a chance to be there. My beautiful husband, my brother and sister-in-law were there. We had a great time, but here's one of the models that I've worked with and did some design work with. James, you are just a beautiful, beautiful human being. And congratulations, by the way, to the students that are in the design world and the wonderful things they're doing. There we go. Santa with Diane and my beautiful mother. So yes, we had a great time last night. Thank you, by the way, for inviting me to that. And for me, I actually was beating myself up thinking, okay, am I going to be able to perform well this morning? I've got meetings. I've got a client coming over. But do you hear that sometimes? It's the doing for everyone else, which is what she was getting at, before you do for yourself. So that post that she had, she was beating herself up saying that she didn't drink probably enough water. She didn't eat clean all the time. It was also the fact that she didn't set recent goals. And so she wanted to get back on that. Are you hearing though? She's aware of it and she's doing it. And there were a couple other things in that, but we all should go through our list of, because it's in your mind. It's the mindset. It's the psychology of it. The mindset is saying, oh, you're not doing this, and probably being judged. In her mind, she's probably thinking, I'm judging myself. That was the other thing. She does probably not what I'm asking this morning, which is self-care. She talks herself down. She is drop dead gorgeous. Let me just say right now, I hope somebody gets this to her. She is stunningly beautiful. She is the most in shape of any person I've ever met in person. I mean, you look at pictures of other things and you're like, oh my gosh, is that person real? That's what I say about her. She is ripped and just absolutely amazing. And she is a born leader. She is an incredible strength training coach. But imagine when you look at someone and say, they've got it all together. They never, ever have anything. Yep. She and her husband just pictured perfect, right? In your mindset. But they go through the same struggles. They've been on the show before, by the way, a handful of times and talked about this. And so here she is being raw and honest. And I love you for it. I love you for putting that post out this morning and saying, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do this. Instead of, oh yes, look at her, she's got a perfect life. No, everyone, I don't care what you look like. I don't care how beautiful you feel that you are or that other people think that you are. Everyone has the same struggles. And once we realize we are all so similar, suddenly life becomes so much easier. Donna, good morning to you. She says, so true. I have to remind myself to slow down and relax. Massage therapy is a must, but there's a list. Yes. And guess what? For the last 2 days, I thought I'm doing better at transferring the gift card that was given to me a year ago to go get a massage at the beautiful Four Seasons Hotel. It is literally almost a year since my clients gave that to me, and I still haven't used it. So here's my transparency. No, I still am not perfect because I never will be. I sometimes slip back into that perfection mentality, and I'm just asking you to be real with me and say the same thing. Do you do that, or are you in a much better place? A couple of the ladies that came to the workshop on Sunday said, you know what? I've learned more with getting older. And so instead of people saying getting older sucks, they actually said, this one lady said, everybody needs to get older. And because you become wiser and you slow down and you take care of yourself a little bit more, I hope, because you've learned the lessons of the things that didn't serve you. Stephanie says, when I went to work, I cooked for 45 years. I gave 100% every day. I made sure I did things right. I was careful not to make anyone sick with my baking or cooking. The last year was horrible. I couldn't do it anymore. Now I take one day at a time. I still cook and I bake for my family, but in a calmer sense. I pray every day to get the task done. Stephanie, it sounds like, again, we're never mastering it, but it sounds like you are well on your way and we all could learn from you, right? Give yourself some grace. And good morning. I learned how important self-care from the wonderful group of women I work out with. and new friends that I have met through you. Have a great day. So here's another thing. I had them all doing a challenge, and people will drop in pictures in this Facebook group that I have, and they're all weighing in, and they're all probably helping each other lift each other up and remind, hey, you're in this challenge. But I love the fact that one of my clients came over on Monday. Actually, I'm sorry. I met with her on Monday. She took me out to see Derek Huff. Oh my gosh, was that cool? How many of you were there, by the way? Did you go to Stiefel and see Derek Huff for his Christmas show? What a dancer. That makes me miss dance, which goes into slowing down and doing the things you love, right? If I forget, bring me back to dance, bring me back to music, bring me back to singing, bring me back to playing the piano. When I slip, check in with me and say, Monica, how are you doing on the list of things that you want to do? Not good. Not good, but you know why? It's because, well, you know what? Let me give myself some grace here. That's not true. I would say very, very good at making sure that this show, this brand, all of these things are top notch as we go into 2025. And we'll talk about some things that I want to hear from you, what you would like to see more of. Those are all the business side. And when I always tell people that is not all of you, it's part of your identity. And I say part. It is part of your identity, but all the other things that you want for yourself first and for the world become another part of your identity. How are you working on that? That's what I'm going to say. So here's my transparency, Brittany. Not good at all. I thought about it and thought from the challenge aspect. So when we went to Derek Huff, both of us had so much going on that day. It was literally impossible to go and be able to complete the challenge that I had for the day. So I left. I got up at 4:30 in the morning, got ready for work, thought for sure I'd be able to. Otherwise, I would have probably gotten up at 3 to do my workout, because I'm in the mindset of when I'm in a challenge, I don't care what it is. I'll get up earlier or stay up later. Well, for this, got up at 4:30, went into work, had meeting after meeting after meeting, ran into a problem with Spectrum, which is why I'm on my cell phone this morning, and had to have that meeting, and then right into a life coaching session. And then here it was 3:45 and had to leave to meet my dear friend. I did not beat myself up, though, for not getting in the planks that I'm having everybody do, the outside walk or the exercise outside, and the routine of the 30 minutes, because I did something that I think was more important, and that was the self-care aspect. Went with my friend. We went to a new place, which, by the way, has anybody ever heard of Black Mountain? It's Black Mountain in the Central West End. It's a wine place that is incredible. And I met with the owner. We're talking about doing a mobile Monica from there. So see, some really good things come out of things that we feel we're going to beat ourselves up about. So one of the things that Brittany wrote in her post was that she slips and doesn't work out every day, and then suddenly would beat herself up. And when I had the realization of, first of all, I'm having my clients do the challenge. Do I have to do it with them? No, I never said I was, by the way. But I like to be there if they want me to, hand in hand. Do they need me to post pictures of me doing it or videos of me doing it for them every day to keep them on track? I hope not, because what I'm trying to teach is, if I'm not there when I'm possibly not in your life anymore, will you continue what I taught you? When I leave this earth, I do hope that all of you are able to come together, all of you Monica's maniacs, and say, I can't believe she's not here anymore, but let's talk about what we learn. And the best way to honor someone who's your teacher is to continue to do and to take care of your life, right? You are so welcome, Diane. Thank you so much for inviting us. So Julie says, I feel I'm failing. I'm in survival mode, trying to get through the next few weeks, trying to give myself some grace. Julie, are you talking about getting ready for the holiday season? Are you hosting? Are you talking about buying gifts? What part of that? Because let's help Julie with that. Janet says, I know I don't drink enough water either, and I should, but I don't know why that is. So when we make certain things on our list a priority, they happen. What did I teach at the workshop? Anne, Sandra, Lindsay, anybody else that watches this now, or when you watch it on repeat and replay, tell me what you learn most. One of the things that I stressed is pick yourself back up. And if you don't reach, again, your goals for the day, you at least are writing down and saying, oh, I got to do this better. And I like the fact of having journals everywhere, having I have a little notepad that has that barking dog on it, Adelaide's little pictures on the front of it. I have that with me all the time, because then I'll write something down, whether it be an idea for the show, the brand, or something I need to do better at for myself. The aha moments of, I didn't drink enough water today. I made everyone else a priority and not myself. I wasn't calm enough. I didn't sit in the stillness. What happens, by the way? I'm going to ask you this question. What happens in stillness for you? Not just a brushstroke of life. For you, whenever you've really become calm and you meditate and you pray more and you find stillness, what happens in those moments and in the days and weeks and months and years to come when you continue to practice stillness? Tell me that. Donna, me too. On the dance and singing, my passion that needs to be started again. I miss Derek Huff. I used to say, I'm going to be on Dancing with the Stars. I did too. And dance with Derek one day. I wanted to dance with Derek or I wanted to dance with Maxim because they both are incredible. Because I'm a star. Worked 40 plus years on the job. So yes, I'm a star. Hope he comes back next year. Yeah, have you ever seen him, by the way, Donna? I've seen him twice now. I saw him with my mother and my aunt, and he was with his sister at the time. And wow, what a gift that was to the world. Now dancing with his wife, who again, he stressed the importance of slowing down and taking care because she's a miracle. And a couple of years ago, they didn't know if she was even still going to be here, even able to walk again, let alone dance the way she dances. Actually, I'll pull up a video for you so you can see the connection the two of them have. I'm just so in love with their love. If you don't know Derek Huff, look him up. He and his wife are, first of all, just, again, go back to stunningly beautiful, but the way they dance together. I'm not going to play the music because I'll probably get shut down for that because of copyrights. Okay, here, look at this. Look at these two. First of all, look at that outfit. I wanted that outfit so much, but the doctor said she'd never, ever walk again. She's dancing with her husband. The love they have is incredible. There you go. There's so much more. I can post a lot of videos from it. I've only posted a few, but I've got all of that. That's the other thing. I beat myself up when I don't immediately get a story out there, a reel out there, social media. Do you hear through the message? What am I doing for everyone else? Monica, be in the moment. I almost thought, should I constantly be taking these videos while I'm trying to enjoy this with my friend? That, I struggle. I literally went through that. And so when Janice watches this later, know that was happening. So here I am splitting my brain. She's sitting to my left and I'm feeling, do you wish I would stop taking videos? My right side was, everybody's going to want to see these. They're going to want to see it in a story. They're going to want to see it in a reel. They're going to want it in a post. They're going to want Monica to talk about it. Woo! Hear the breathing change? Yeah, that's me. I do it. I'm honest. And it's the best way to live life is I'm not ever going to be perfect. And I need those around me, friends, family, to say, Monica, it's okay. And I say that to all of you. It's okay, whatever you're struggling with. It's okay if you don't reach everything on your list. Give up on the perfection and watch what happens in your life. Trust me. All right, we've got some other comments coming in. I'm going to tell you about our wonderful mobile Monica as well. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And I want to give those businesses, festivals, events, pop-ups, an idea to bring our show to you and really reach, and I do mean thousands that you're not reaching right now. We took this Black Friday promotion we have and we carried it over into the rest of December and all of January. That was my decision, and we're never going to run it again. And I shouldn't say never. We're not going to run it again until probably a year from now. So take advantage right now because it is deep, deep discounts for us to bring the show to you. And you're going to be on all of these platforms. And then you're going to be in reels and stories. And we're going to talk about you for the weeks leading up to the event. And probably in a promo where you're going to keep showing up and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm still getting traction. Yes, that's what we do for you. I just need all of you to start talking and saying, hey, this would be a great place to do a mobile Monica. Where is that? Reach out to me. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. But here's the special we're running. And as soon as we come back, give me 30 seconds to tell you about this. And then we'll tell you where we're going to be and where we connect more. I've got something really exciting for you today. 25% off for us to bring our show to your business. Come on, 25% off. You all should jump on board that. We're talking about thousands and thousands of followers coming to your business. But we want to take it a little bit deeper. How about 15% off for brand new sponsors for a 6-month contract and 25% off if you join with us on an annual basis. Let's do that together. And maybe like Judgment Tree Distillery, Sugar Creek Winery. How long has it been since you've been there? Or have you never been there? Well, how about December 28th being the first day that you go, or you revisit because you haven't been in a long time? Yes, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but how about a glass of red wine? That would be good. Vodka, rum, gin, whiskey. That's right. They have all of that because they have a distillery now. And a lot of you didn't know that. You thought, oh, I thought it was Sugar Creek Winery. Well, it is, but now they have the distillery and they've got this new enclosed patio, which is what we're going to show you on December 28th. Now, there's a lot that's going to take place that day from 12 o'clock until 6 o'clock. We're going to get there early. We're going to be setting up, so come early and stay late. Our broadcast starts at 1:30 until 3 o'clock. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk with beautiful Becky and hopefully Chris and maybe Michelle. And I don't know who else that's part of Sugar Creek and Judgment Tree. But then hopefully we'll talk to some of you and what you love about what our 94 drive has provided you in the past. So for those of you that are not in our immediate area, you got to come into town and go to the Defiance and Augusta area because first of all, it's absolutely beautiful. My favorite drive in the fall is on 94, hands down. I also love going into like St. Genevieve and Herman and Washington, Missouri, Alton, Piasaw, Grafton, all of that. Sure. My favorite though is definitely on 94. It's just beautiful. And I love seeing the growth, by the way, of all of the businesses as you start to come in. By the way, we have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday in Defiance. So I've been asking you to send prayers out to Chuck and his wife, and I'm just going to leave it at that. They know what they need from you. I'm just asking for prayers for them. But we're going to see Chuck this afternoon, 4 o'clock for Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. We haven't had it in a while. So for those of you that haven't watched, it is a lot of fun, but it's also an opportunity for you to get educated because he really knows the stuff when it comes to wine. He's going to talk today. We are going to talk today about Norton. Now that is Missouri's grape. And so for those of you that are outside of our area and you've never ever had a Norton, we're going to go through some different vintages, taste some different vintages, but talk about the history of Missouri's grape. And a lot of you that are really into wine, maybe from other regions, I've seen you. I've been there. I still do it. Turn up your nose to the Norton. It's a different palate taste for sure. I will be honest with that. But Chuck is the one that has introduced me to a Norton, if not Nortons, that I was like, I don't mind that. Is it the thing that I go to first? Typically, no, but this is what will be interesting this afternoon. So we're going to be going to Defiance Ridge this afternoon at 4 o'clock. And then this is what I love. Every winery in this region, they all support one another because they know that a lot of people like to pop in and out of different ones. They like to get on the Katy Trail, ride their bikes or walk. And then that's what I've done in the past. Get off the Katy Trail and then go and walk that big hill up to Sugar Creek. So this afternoon at Defiance Ridge, December 28th at Sugar Creek Winery. How many of you are free? Check your calendar right now. That's the greatest thing is that we make the plans right away. That way it happens. So how many of you looking at your calendar are free on December 28th? Make the plans then, because a lot of you always say, oh, when can we join you again for a mobile Monica? Well, I'm telling you, December 28th, Sugar Creek Winery, Judgment Tree Distillery. It's on the same property. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be music. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. Probably have some giveaways. And we're going to see one of the most beautiful enclosed patios that I have seen. You've got to follow Sugar Creek, by the way, on social media because they did a post a couple of days ago and took you and did a walkthrough of it. And I was just like, I want to be there already. The gorgeous fireplace that they have there. Yeah. So come, friends, family that's in town. Again, we're right between the Christmas and New Year's holiday. So let's do this together. Let's have a lot of fun. I know some of you said the other day, I'm coming. I'll be there. Start gathering your friends. I want us to just pack the place and it's an opportunity for us to meet in person if we've never met before and share the holidays together. Okay, let's do that. All right, getting back to some of your comments. Julie says, I will host one gathering and helping with 4 others, just lots going on. It'll come together. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that. It will come together. And that's the thing. When people leave your house and you feel like, oh my gosh, I forgot to make this appetizer, or oh my gosh, I forgot to ask them if they wanted this as soon as they walked in the door. That's the pressure you put on yourself. Did I not ask them if I could take their coat immediately within the seconds that I thought I should have done it? I mean, there's so many levels of things when, in all honesty, they just are so excited to be with you. There's the stillness I asked about. So I asked that question. What happens when you find stillness? Carrie, stillness, she says, I find myself parallel more with my faith and my center, because suddenly I feel that the world becomes more clearer when you are still, when you are calm, when you do find the meditative state. Marilyn says, sorry to interrupt. Please send strength and prayers to my good friend Leona at this moment. Yes. Okay. Very good. Prayers to Leona. So we'll have prayers going out to Leona and prayers to Chuck and Michelle. Kathy, good morning. I will watch the beginning later. You got it. Yes, the wineries on 94 are beautiful. Kathy, you're going to come? Get some friends together. You're going to come and be there with us on December 28th? I hope so. Let me pop over to Instagram again. Okay, Barbara says calmness is a warm hug to myself. Oh, I like that. How about all the rest of you as you pop on and off of Instagram and X, Rumble, LinkedIn, etc. Start interacting more. I would love that. So good morning to all of you on Instagram. Good morning to all of you that have been diehards on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, which again have been our platforms from the beginning. So yes, who else? How many of you practice stillness? How many of you meditate? How many of you pray? And for those of you that do, what you can do is help others understand what it does for your life. So for me, when I get away from that, I feel... By the way, tension mount. You haven't heard me talk about a lot of effects of the accident in a while, right? It's because I had been calming down. Well, guess what? My neck started bothering me yesterday and today because, yeah, I'm looking at the date and going, I don't know, do we have 4 or 5 presents? I mean, I'm not going to buy it. That's the thing that Jim said. And this is great. So, right, you have your spouse around you or whatever. He said, why do we have to have the pressures of buying presents? And I said, because you have to. I got to do this. I got to do that. We're going to go on Main Street. We're going to shop. And instead of my mindset thinking, got to buy, his mindset is, can we just be on Main Street and enjoy each other? And I want to, because our 12-year dating anniversary is in 2 days. And so he's looking at it as, I just want to go with you to one of the places that I remember one of our first dates when we dated the first time around back in 2001. See the mindset? He's already in some of that calmness and stillness. I'm doing the list in my head and I'm like, oh, guys don't get it, right? My mind, guys don't get it. Women have to do this. I got to buy for this family member. I got to buy this for this friend. I have a few already. My friends want to get together then also, and I look forward to it. He says, do we need to do this? Because this person has to be bought for. This person, I was like, no. Well, actually, I have to think. One of my friends said, no. Here's what we're going to do. Moving forward, it's you and I. It's not about a spouse. It's not about kids. If you want to, you can, but don't feel, that's the thing, by the way, don't feel the pressure of feeling like you have to buy for the entire family. Yeah. Especially when finances are tight, which has been for us. So I'm looking at it going, Monica, you're going to put yourself in debt just to be able to make everybody else happy? That's silly, right? That makes no sense. That's the insanity aspect. Bob sounds just like Jim. It's true, Diane, right? But there's the perfection of, I've got to do all of this. I mentioned the other day how much I love the gifts that are made. And I need to get back to that because to me, those have so much more of a meaning to them. Instead of thinking, I always used to say this to people. Do you remember what someone got you? Or do you remember the time you spent together? I have to remind myself that. To me, it's the time you spend together. So as I get ready to go to 4 people's houses for Christmas get-togethers, it's not about buying for everybody. I'm going to buy for my friend that I'm connected to, but do the spouses need gifts? No. Do the kids need gifts? If they're little ones, yes. That's the thing that I learned. You tell me, actually, I'd like to know that. I'm going to take a quick break. Tell me this. I'll give you time to answer this. As the kids get past a certain age, do you still feel the weight of having to buy for your friends and families? Every single teenager, what age do you stop? Because to me, my nephews are now well into their 30s. And I sit there and go, my husband even asked, he's like, are we buying for your nephews also? And I used to go back and forth and go, I have tons of aunts and uncles. They didn't buy for all of us, right? But you, for some reason, feel the pressure of, I got to buy for not only my nephew, but his wife and the kids. I'd instead say, knock the older nephew and the wife off and buy for the young children. Am I right in that? If you've got the means to do so, great. But this is what happens. And do you feel like do you hear? I just got calmer when I started to realize you don't have to do all that. Stephanie says the last few years, my sister and I combine our gifts for our family. Yes, we used to pick names, and it's probably something that we probably should go back to, because then you let the pressure off. And then you do, like my sister-in-law says, for those that matter most, which is the young kids. My great niece, I think, is what, 7? I think 7 or 8. They're all growing so fast. And 5. My godchild just turned 14. So the age, will I always buy for her? Don't know, maybe. But the thing that we should do is that we do it, or we take them out to me. What I've been doing for her birthday lately is we do an experience together. She loves nails. So we go and get our nails done and we go eat together. That's what I did before I left to go on our Italy vacation. And she loved it. Now I asked what's on her list. But do we get to a point of, when do you get let off the hook? Maybe I'll say that. When does it have to not be bye, and have experience? To me, that matters more. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Weigh in on that. I think that's important. Okay, Julie says we focus on the little kids. Right, but here's my question. If there are no more little kids around, do you then say, okay, I'm just going to buy for my best friend, my mom, my brother and sister-in-law, my husband? Then the list becomes less, and then I don't feel like such tension and stress. Love the experience gift idea. Right, Diane, to me, and that's what I think back to sometimes when my husband did it, actually. He bought a getaway for, you all know Michelle. I don't know if she's on this morning, but Michelle and myself to go to the Augusta area and have a girls' weekend away. I don't know if you all remember. We talked about that. We went to Halcyon Spa. We bounced around to different wineries. We walked on the Katy Trail. See, I remember every aspect of that. But can I go back to a year or 2 or 3 or 10 years and say, I remember what gift this person and this person gave to me? Nope. But can I remember the time I spent with you? Yes. So think of those experience gifts more and find your way to help. Oh, Michelle is on. She said that was lovely. Yes. And what I thought for her and I the other day, I'd love to go back to Makanda Inn. So we're talking about Southern Illinois and getting a chance to go to the Shawnee Hills hiking area. See, I remember all this. I even remember the name of the place. I remember the food that we had for breakfast. It's those details. There are some gifts that I remember, but in the time that I've been friends with Michelle, can I remember everything we bought for ourselves from 2009 on? No, actually, I think there was something, I had a realization the other day, and I was like, I think I may have bought her those earrings. You don't even remember what you gave. I mean, that's what's crazy. Michelle says yes. So, experience. I wanted to give that to all of you today. And then maybe the pressure starts to come off and you have the calmness that I'm trying to get. So today has been about self-care, meditation, prayer, stillness, calmness, finding your way to that. Okay, we got a handful of minutes left. Weigh in for me, and then we'll talk a little bit more about things to come and what do you want for 2025? Because I've got some big goals and big dreams, and I need stillness to find that clarity. So I have a big MC and auctioneering event coming up, actually a couple next year. So I do the St. Raphael MC and auction, and I've been doing that for many, many years. I do want to thank Dan Buck, by the way. Dan is such a great guy I used to work with. He was at Channel 5 when I was at Channel 2, but we knew each other in the industry, and he does a lot of MCing and auctioneering, so much so that he double books himself. Well, he did just that many years ago. And we connected so much with St. Raphael that they have hired me year after year. So I will be there on February 15th in case any of you go to St. Raphael, or maybe you want to go because of somebody going to that school in the past and you want to support them of what they do moving forward. So February 15th, I'll be at St. Raphael. And then on April 12th, I just did it last year, and hopefully now it's a connection point. Again, Dan double booked himself. That's it, Dan. Keep doing it. I love these events. Incarnate Word Academy, I will be doing their emceeing and auctioneering on April 12th. But yeah, do you have an organization where you would like the Real Monica Adams brand to be your MC and be your auctioneer and raise more money? I actually was shopping with Michelle. Again, that's the other thing. I will always remember these holiday boutiques. Do I remember everything I buy at the boutique? Sometimes I remember the coat. I'll never forget the coat I bought. But it's more time that I love spending time with my friend. And we laugh together and we have great times together and sometimes stay after and have dinner together. And just those are the moments. Those are the moments that you remember. But this time we met a lady and she said, you were put into my life tonight for a reason. Now, we're going to get through the holidays and talk, but she has a foundation for her son who she lost. And she said, I'm really excited to see what you can do for my son's foundation. And I was like, I love that. I love to give back and I love to see what I can do and the God-given talents that I have to raise money for wonderful causes. Marilyn, all right, let's get to all of you. For many decades, she says, I have felt that Christmas is so commercial. I know. I'm in that mindset now. The real reason for Christmas is missing. Yes, I love experiences and the idea of giving to provide for the very poor and less fortunate. Making traditions. Do we truly know each of those we buy for at this season? The people that, yes, that are in need. That's what really lifts me up. I said I want to carol so bad, and I wish, Marilyn, I wish your back was feeling better. Caroling just, I think, would bring me the calmness that I'm looking for, and it would bring me back to the music that I said. So I told my friend Janice the other day, get on me and ask me if I sat down to try to play the piano. I'm not going to try to do it today, so don't ask me today because I feel the tension in my neck. So I know that I would have triggering points to try to read the notes. It's when this goes away that I can sit down. Okay, so if you're listening, need to get the massage to then be brought back to playing, to dance again. My friend Angela is going to come in town and we're going to choreograph. If my husband's watching, yes, it's happening, honey. I asked him to be willing to have a dance choreographed for us. And maybe we show you some pictures and videos of that. And eventually we put a video together and you get a chance to watch it, because I've done different competitions and people have always come to me, and I've heard this from so many people. How come you and your husband don't do it? And I said, well, because it's my love and my passion. And he usually beats himself up and says, I'm not a dancer like your family, but he has that beautiful posture of a waltz. And so I have picked a song that is made for him. And so I believe that he'll have fun with it. So Angela, I can't wait for you to come in town. We're going to do that. So I am going back to dance. My friend Michelle Grivey, who I've known since I was in high school, she wants me to sing again, which we used to do a lot. So find your passions is what I'm trying to get at here. My passions a lot of times have to do with the arts, music, dancing, going to see. I do that. So I do fill that cup. I go see stuff at the Fox or the Muni or whatever other venue. I do get together with friends and family. We do put this in our calendar and make it happen. Those are important. I don't want to ever lose sight of that. That'll bring you, by the way, to happiness. Spend time with the barking dogs. Oh, we've got a new segment, by the way. Let me say this as we go into 25. The Barking Baker. You can see why I called it that, because that's what they do. Whether they're happy or they're frustrated because there's a deer running around, which I can guarantee that's what that is. The Barking Baker is going to be so much fun. You are going to laugh. And if you don't know The Real Monica Adams, if there's ever a segment you will meet The Real Monica Adams, I'm telling you right now, it's this. You will laugh so hard, or at least that's my hope. And my team is putting it together for social and for content that we're going to run for you. And it's going to become a thing. I'm going to transition to making Christmas cookies, treats with the dogs in our next Barking Baker segment. So that's coming, by the way. And if there's other ideas and segments you have for the show, let us know. Stephanie, my goal for 25 is to be happy and healthy and be the best person I can be. And that's it, Stephanie. We can all learn from you. Be the best version of you. And that's all anybody can ever ask for. For 2025, Hats by Diane says, smelling more roses. And what does that mean? You slow down more, right? Stephanie, I had so much fun caroling in the Columbia Parade. We lost power a couple times. We sang without the music. That's right. Keep going. Rose. Oh, this is a good one. My good friend and her family and my family get together every year. She buys for my 2 kids and us, and she has 3. We tried to cut down in gifts and suggested we pick names. I know. And that's the same thing that I do, but she won't go for it. I say, no, we got it. I just need, I need to listen to other people around me and say, do it. We spend hundreds of dollars that we really don't have, but somehow do it because she finds happiness in it. My husband and I argue every year. Oh, see, I think you're right about only kids, but some people I bake gifts for and they love it. That's because it's from the heart. A little gift can go a long way. It doesn't have to be expensive. I know. Keep telling me this. And my siblings and I don't exchange Christmas gifts. We buy for the nieces and nephews until they graduate college. Oh, graduate college. Wow. Then when we get together, we go do an adventure together with no technology. That's a good one. Also with my siblings, we live out of town. We make it a point to meet somewhere for a week and spend time together. See, experiences, spending time together. That's what people remember. Oh, James signed in. Oh, I think he's already signed off. James, I told you, was the model that I worked with. And we're hoping to do another model photo shoot together. He said he needs to get my manager and his manager on that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to get to the dogs and tell them to hush. I'm going to have breakfast. I'm going to drink my water. See, so again, I have a mental checklist and then I'll put it down on paper. I'm going to get water because I can feel that I need it. I'm going to eat breakfast. So I'm going to have the sustenance I need. I'm going to feel fulfilled because I'm going to personal train a client at 9:00. And then Michelle and I are going to go out because I will wrap up with this. We're going to be at Sugar Creek and Judgment Tree Distillery, but today we're going to go out and make sure that we are going to scope out where we want to set up, making sure that there's no internet issues like I have with my own home today. We're going to be out here, a little hot chocolate and vodka. That might sound good today. Maybe we need to do a little sample, Michelle, wink, wink. Bloody Marys. Are you a Bloody Mary fan? I think there's a little too much sodium in it, so I don't normally opt for a Bloody Mary. But yes, they have live music at Sugar Creek. You'll have to check their schedule of events and see who you'd like to go see. You can go on our day, which is what I'm hoping for. If you can't get out there, don't beat yourself up. If you're like, oh, I've been wanting to get out to one of these mobile Monicas and I can't get there, Monica, I just can't get there that day. That's fine. But do support those that support us and put them on your list next time you're driving and you're thinking, I'm heading out to 94. I would love for you to remember Sugar Creek. And I'd love for you also to remember Defiance Ridge Vineyards and Circle 6. All of these, we're actually taking on the S curve. It is my goal to take over Augusta and Defiance and to have us hit all the wonderful little places and show you all the wonderful small businesses that are out there. Stephanie, you have a great day as well. That's right, Michelle. Here we come. So we're coming to do a test this afternoon. We're actually going to go there. And then we're going to be, again, Wet Your Whistle Wednesday at Defiance Ridge. Join us at 4:00 this afternoon for a walk through the vintages of Norton. I'm excited to see if he can get me to really enjoy one. Boy, they are wound up. Rose says, me too. In this world where I'm with my sisters and nieces and nephews, my brother is the oldest. He's not around. I'm the oldest. I feel like I took over the mom role. Oh, that's what Rose is saying, me too as well. Yep. And so sometimes we feel like we have so much more on our plate. So as the dogs continue to bark, and I'm going to go be with them, I'm going to ask all of you to not put so much pressure on yourself. I'm going to point to myself as well and understand that in your moments of taking care of you, first and foremost, so much more will happen. God is asking you, and instead of reading from one of the books today, I'm just going to give you the devotional. In the stillness, God will speak to you. And again, if you have faith, and if you don't, it's fine. Find something that will bring you that stillness. I'm going to ask you to learn the breathing techniques, to slow your mind and your heart down to where it belongs, to get rid of the tension. Yes, we are up against the holidays, but what does that mean? What do we need to do for each other? For me, it's just finding more patience. It's finding more kindness. It is changing the world more. It is doing for all of you and myself equally, right? That's what's important to me, that it's not, I got to do for everyone else. I want to do for you, but I also want to make sure that I'm taken care of at the same time. You need to take care of you. Join us on these shows every morning at 7 a.m. And by the way, join us tomorrow. Michelle and I yesterday went to Specialty MRI in Fenton, and she was able to watch. She's known her best friend since 2009, but yesterday she saw a side of me she's never seen before, the inside. We had Jerry G on a couple of weeks ago, and he is the mastermind behind a whole body scan. Now, here's the thing. You are running out of time. For those of you that heard that show, by December 31st, that deal that he's running will change. And it's not his doing. It's who he partners with. They charge about $1,500 more. He is running a special for $9.99 through the end of the year where you can get a whole body scan. I did it yesterday. It took 41 minutes, 3,000 images. We're talking about seeing cancer markers. We're talking about detecting 500 plus conditions. But this is something that doctors are not prescribing. You may go into them and say, I got this going on, I got that going on, and they will prescribe, they will schedule an MRI for a small area. Well, what if it's missed? Or what if you've got something that's in you that you don't know about? This is what we're going to walk you through tomorrow. So we're going to be live from Specialty MRI in Fenton at 7 a.m. And we're going to show you a lot of those images, those videos that were taken yesterday. I'm super excited for this. So tomorrow, again, we'll sit down at Jerry's place. And I want you to get the aha moment of thinking, this is something I've been wanting to do, or I'm frustrated because doctors are telling me nothing's wrong with me, but I swear there is. Well, this is it. But besides the whole body scan, it's any MRI. Whenever they're scheduled, can you do us a favor, please, and ask your doctor to schedule it at Specialty, special, capital T, Specialty MRI, because you are going to support those that support us. So he hired us to do a mobile Monica from his place, from his business. He's doing something so unique that they're not doing in a 5-hour radius, by the way. So we'll be there tomorrow showcasing him. And then when you need an MRI, instead of going to these other chains, go to Specialty, okay? And then on Friday, this is super cool. Jeremy Boyer, you may not know the name, but you definitely know what he does on the organ. He is the St. Louis Blues and the St. Louis Cardinals organist, and he's going to be on our show on Friday morning. I'm excited about that. And then next week, Wednesday, we've got Jennifer Warman-Bloss from Elemental Aesthetics talking about some new services. I've got to get on scheduling who we're going to have on for Medical Monday. So if you have any ideas, by the way, you could help me with that. Take some of the pressure off of the booking. Who would you like to see? And I should say, what part of Medical Monday would you like? What kind of medicine, what kind of health would you like to see on Monday? And any other really cool, incredible human beings or businesses that you think belong on the show, let me know in the coming weeks. We'll get into the holidays. And 2025, I'm just going to tell you this, we've got some really big things coming. I would like to know if you could shoot me an email privately. What do you want for this show as we almost get into 2 years? What do you want more of? What would you like less of? I would like to start getting in little shorter segments that we place maybe on some of our alternate platforms, because I want you to subscribe to those for special content. And I'm just going to put it out there because I like to manifest and visualization. I've got a second show that we're talking about doing. Would you like to see the other side of the Monica Adams? The outlaw side? Well, stay tuned. I think that's coming for you in 2025, but it won't be on Facebook. It will be on my other platforms. So you're going to have to go to YouTube or X or Rumble to watch it there. See? So we've got some new things coming. More entertainment, bringing back some of our singers, bringing back guests that we would like to check in on. All of that is to come. And some big moves, by the way. Just saying. Just a little tease for you. So much more to come. And thank you, by the way, for the diehards that have watched from the very beginning. And thank you to all of you. Let's all find stillness. Let's all find calmness together. Most importantly, let's find a way to get out of our own way and to offer up that kindness to another human being. It's the greatest thing you can do. All right, everybody, get into the babies. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow morning live in Fenton.